Welcome everyone to another episode of Sports Roundup. I am your host, Leo Ricky. You can follow us on Instagram at Live TV for so much more. What you didn't see here on the show, you can catch it live on Live TV. Now we have a special guest today. We are talking about a different sport that we don't normally talk about here in Jamaica, but it's going to be very interesting. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages. Alright, so welcome back to Sports Roundup. I'm still your host, Larry. Now we have here in studio a very special guest, and he's none other than Mr. Jerome Harriet. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you. Thank you for being here, little Ricky.
Alright, it's our pleasure for having you. Now, you are a coach, and you're trying to raise awareness of football here in Jamaica, American football here in Jamaica. How are you planning to do that?
Well, what we're doing, we're introducing the sport to a number of schools. Obviously, the sport is popular worldwide as it is already, and everybody, obviously in this country, knows about the Super Bowl. They know about the NFL. We're introducing the sport at a little bit of a more simplified type of operation, which is called flag football. It's mostly a non-contact aspect of the original sport, which is American football, which is known as gridiron worldwide.
Yeah. Alright, so here in Jamaica, we mostly focus on either cricket or football, soccer. You know, what makes you think that Jamaicans would be interested in this type of sport?
Well, the long and short of our program for the National Tackle Football Association is the introduction of not a sport but opportunities for our young people to continue in school, to graduate, and to be focused on going on to college.
Yeah.
Now, quite a few of our kids in the future will be eligible for collegiate athletic scholarships or even academic scholarships through our programs. So when it comes to opportunity for education, that's our primary goal, and I believe that's parents, administrators, and specifically young men and young women of this country would basically identify that as being a great opportunity.
Because honestly, I think that Jamaicans need more opportunity because like we all want opportunity. Either we can't play the sport because we always can learn, you know. So I think that this is a great opportunity for Jamaicans to go on to better lives and such. Are you looking for school age players, or what type of individuals would you be looking for at the moment?
Our initial phase to introduce the sport is to high school students.
Yeah.
Those guys will be able to carry the torch and gain interest through our platforms, which is mostly focused on high school age kids in the States. And they will be able to eventually, primary school kids will catch on. Hopefully collegiate kids.
Okay. You know a lot about the sport, obviously. Were you a player in the past?
Yeah, I was actually born here in Mandeville.
Cool.
Lived here when I was 10 years old. Grew up in South Florida, Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
I started playing the sport at 12 years old. Played all the way through high school. Played into college, and then I hung up my football boots. So I had at least when I used to leave my high school practices, I went straight to my younger brother's practices, which started around 6 p.m.
Wow.
And I coached those teams. So before I left high school, I had at least 3 years coaching experience.
Cool. Alright, so we here in Jamaica, speaking from experience, I would love to do NFL. But what I'm worried about is getting hit. To be honest, it's really. When you see them on TV, you know, getting hit and all of those, and a lot of people would be scared. How would you encourage persons who are afraid of that thing?
The reality of the whole thing is that the equipment that's being used, even when I played, it was pretty sturdy. The game over the past 4 to 5 years has changed immensely. It's more of an athletic game. It's more of a game that's more driven by athletes than guys with brawn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The equipment has improved a lot. Now, frankly, everybody has played football worldwide.
Yeah.
And, you know, not to make a comparison, but you don't really use equipment for that game. No, you're not supposed to hit the ground, but everybody hits the ground in almost every sport they play.
Yeah.
The padding, the helmets, the shoulder pads,
Yeah.
the technical training that is administered through American football is essential on making sure that the athlete performs at a top level.
Yeah.
And they're secure and they're healthy after they're done playing.
Okay, so we might not know a lot about football here in Jamaica for people who are not big football fans. We might watch the Super Bowl, you know, because it's a big event. You know, it catches people's eye from all over the world. But what's the difference between tackle and flag football?
Tackle football is the game that everybody sees as a Super Bowl, and it's played with helmets, shoulder pads. When the ball carrier or receiver or quarterback is running with the ball, in order for him to be downed or the play to start or be reset, he has to be taken to the ground.
Yeah.
With the ball in hand. Flag football or touch football, flag football specifically, is a sport where you have a belt with flags on it, and in order for the player to be downed or the player to be reset,
Yeah.
The defensive player has to pull off one of the flags and hold it up. That's the major difference, and that's how the game works.
Alright, I just hold that thought. We'll be going for a break. When we return, we'll be talking about more American football. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
You forget.
Is it?
For DMP, we offer a range of services. We do delivery island-wide. We offer from a pin to an anchor, best customer service. All in all, hardware supplies and household supplies, we are there with all of it. You can reach us by our email, which is d.phardware@yahoo.com, or our telephone numbers, 876-516-4626 or 876-791-2464.
Live TV.
Welcome back to Sports Roundup. Now we're still in studio with Jerome Harriet, and we're actually talking about American tackle football, and it's known worldwide as gridiron. Now, what I would love to ask you, can females play the game?
Absolutely. In the United States, specifically in high schools, flag football is played during the spring. They have a spring league for females, which is an all-female league.
Yeah.
There are certain professional leagues around the United States where girls play in a number of different tackle leagues, female versus female type teams.
Alright, so a lot of our viewers might be chubby like me, and you know, playing football is kind of heavy, and running up and down playing basketball is a bit heavy. You know, what are the requirements?
The general requirements to play this sport is your character and your work ethic. Most coaches no matter what discipline they coach, will always tell you that hard work beats talent any day in most sports. In this case, it's very true. Most of the guys that have played for me, that have gone on to have successful careers in college and in the NFL, are hard-working guys with great character. The reality of the whole thing, it's always great to have that fast elite athlete, and they excel very well at the sport. But the reality of the whole thing is that most kids, as long as they have the right mindset, meaning their work ethic, their character, and they bring that to the field or to the practices specifically, they usually end up being successful.
So at the moment, you are planning to start school competition, right?
Correct.
So is it open to schools Jamaican-wide or to a specific parish at the moment?
Currently, we are the NTFAs has opened up the sport to schools specifically in St. Elizabeth and Manchester as a pilot program. The schools that are going to be participating in our kickoff classic on April 6th will start practicing next week.
Yeah. So who will be coaching and selecting these teams?
Well, the selection of the teams was, I could say, a long negotiating process with some of the principals, the communities, the coaches, and the interest from athletes in those areas. A lot of kids, male and female, realize that there's a certain marginalization if they're fast and they're not fast enough to make the track team. They're still great athletes. They still want to compete. They have that competitive nature. And if they're not skilled enough to make the football team or the cricket team, they still want to do something competitive. The schools that have been chosen were chosen in both these areas specifically because of their interest level and their actual need to have a new sport introduced for their student population.
Alright, so what can we look forward to in the future from Great Iron here in Jamaica?
Well, we're going to be growing the sport considerably on a year-by-year basis. Eventually, it will be island-wide. Some of the more exciting things that we're looking at is the aspect of sending our kids off to school on scholarship, to get an education, and that's the premise of the whole thing, is to get them an education. Now, some of these athletes will be blessed enough someday to possibly compete in the NFL, but our priority right now is definitely getting these guys off to school, getting them scholarships.
Alright, so the NFL, you mentioned the NFL, that sport is pretty big in America. What is it like?
The NFL is a business, a corporation. The fact remains, some of my best friends who have played in the NFL, some of the best advice that they got when they first entered as rookies or beginners in the NFL were from some great coaches that sat them down and told them, look, they asked them a simple question: who do you play for? Now, at that time, a good friend of mine was playing for the Atlanta Falcons. And he said, well, I play for the Falcons, coach. And he said, no, who do you play for? He says, coach, I play for the Falcons. So he said, no, son, you play for the NFL. The reality of the whole thing is the NFL is a big corporation that trades their athletes to different divisions, whether it be the division of Miami, the division of Tampa, the division of Seattle, those type of things. So they get, most of the guys who stay in the NFL and are blessed to stay in the NFL for a prolonged period of time play for multiple teams.
Okay. Alright, so do you believe that Americans would come to Jamaica to watch Jamaicans play?
I attended the Africa conference in San Antonio, Texas in January. Now, AFCA is the American Football Coaches Association. There's thousands of high school coaches, thousands of collegiate coaches, and hundreds of NFL coaches that go to those conferences every year. Every coach that I spoke to when I said we're starting football in Jamaica, their eyes opened wide. Coach, I want to come. I want to be there.
Yeah.
Just tell me when. If you're doing a camp, a clinic, I'm there to help you. Now, that's the feedback that I got from everybody. And, obviously I asked them why. Most of them tell me that, look, I just went to Jamaica last year. I want to go back. I was married in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 10% of them told me that they have never been to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to come here. It's the most beautiful place on earth, with the most beautiful people.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we're probably the best athletes in the world.
True.
So these guys, these men, and their wives and their kids will want to come here. Number one, because it's a paradise. Number two, they want to come here and see this sport grow because they want to recruit our athletes. They have Jamaican, each one of these guys have had Jamaican athletes that have played for them, and they keep in close touch because of how Jamaicans are.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good, that Jamaica, you have a lot of Jamaicans athletes out here that we don't really hear about here in Jamaica, Alright, so you mentioned that NFL is a business, right? Would you say that if a person gets the opportunity here in Jamaica to go to the NFL, would it be beneficial money-wise, or, because at the end of the day, we have to be realistic. Everybody wants money.
Yeah, that's true. Well, if the average pay for an NFL athlete is at least $500,000 to $600,000 US, and that's on the lower end.
Wow.
I would consider that very beneficial.
Yeah.
Some of the athletes that I do know that are what you call practice squad athletes that do not play, do not dress on game day, and they're strictly there for practices, make about $110,000 to $150,000 a year.
Wow.
And most of their expenses are taken care of, meaning their housing, their eating, their training, that type of stuff. So a lot of that money stays in their pocket. So it is very beneficial from the top athletes that have contracts for 50, 60 million over a 5 to 10 year period, versus the guys that are on practice squad who are making a little over 100,000 US a year. It is very beneficial to an individual to invest their future in something like that.
Alright, so hold that thought for a minute. When we come back, we'll be hearing a lot more about gridiron here in Jamaica. Stay tuned.
Hi, welcome to JPS Support. Today we will talk about the GEI process. The GEI, or
Government Electrical Inspectorate,
is the body of government responsible for certifying all electrical installations. They ensure that the proposed electrical safety standards are met. So, when is a GEI certificate needed? When the premises that needs electricity is new, when the premises has not had electricity for more than a year, or if the meter socket at the premises was corroded and repaired. But how do I get the GEI to issue this certificate? Any licensed electrician, after checking the wiring of your premises, can submit the application for the GEI inspection to be done. And how long does this all take to be completed? The GEI process can take up to 4 to 6 weeks, after which the GEI sends the certificate to JPS. Do I now get my premises connected? Once the GEI has issued the certificate to JPS, you can now apply for electricity at your premises.
it can take up to 5 working days for your premises to be connected. Now you'll have electricity on your premises. Let's reimagine energy together. Live TV.
Welcome back to Sports Roundup. Now we're still in studio with Jerome Harriet, who has been telling us a lot about gridiron here in Jamaica, more commonly known as American football. So, what are the upcoming events that you guys have planned so far?
We have a number of upcoming events. On March 22nd, we have a clinic or a workshop for coaches and officials. We would love for as many people to be involved in the coaching field and officiating as possible.
Yeah.
That will be on March 22nd in Mandeville here. More than likely, we're doing it at Gulf View Hotel. The following day, we're doing a camp for athletes where the coaches and those officials will be administering their curriculum, and we're going to be evaluating how best they administer the programs to the kids and the coaches. We have quite a bit of support from some former NFL coaches or athletes and current NFL coaches. They'll be flying in order to assist with the administering of the clinic and the camp. On April 6th, we're going to be doing a kickoff classic. The kickoff classic is basically a tournament between the schools, the participating schools, to see exactly where everybody stands, to iron out their kinks. It's almost like a preseason tournament game heading into the season.
Yeah. So mentioning all of that, how is the government endorsing this sport so far?
Well, the sport is endorsed, or our association is endorsed by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Equity, and Sport. We've been endorsed as the association or the governing body for the sport here in Jamaica. We also have, we are internationally recognized as the federation for the sport here in Jamaica by the IFAF, which is the International Federation of American Football, which is located in France. And they're the international federation that manages the sport worldwide.
So who will be coaching and picking these teams?
The coaches are mostly assigned by the schools. Some of the coaches that are in the schools, some of the coaches that are interested, that coach other sports, that see this as a benefit and a great opportunity for their students to take part in. The majority of the schools went that route, and then there's other schools that may have some challenges that we had to assist them with finding coaches that are have the proper background, the proper character, and the background checks. They already work with kids, whether it be through the ministry or through refereeing, and they also recognize the benefits of the sport being applied for some of these schools.
So do you have any sponsors so far?
Yeah, we have quite a few sponsors. Locally, we have a few sponsors here. Internationally, we've gotten Battle Sports out of the United States as an up-and-coming apparel company to assist us with our uniforms. Gooser Sports is a more localized company in South Florida that is very popular in South Florida. St. Thomas Aquinas High School has given quite a bit, and a number of schools countrywide throughout the United States have assisted us with a number of different aspects of our needs.
Okay, so becoming the NTFA champion for the schools that are going to enter, what will be the prize?
Well, where do I start? Let's start with the camp. The clinic, or the camp, I should say. The top performers, which are multiple athletes, will get a number of different prizes. Specifically, we will be issuing brand new Under Armour football boots to the top performers of that camp. The champion of the kickoff classic, which is a preseason tournament, the champion of that, well, the team that wins will get a number of different types of gears, whether it be hoodies, that type of stuff, in the school colors. So they'll be printed after in the school name, school colors, those type of things, because young men love the hoodies and these type of things. So they
go back to school to get one.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. As far as the champion, the national champion of our league, will get a number of prizes and other things from local sponsors, whether it be sporting goods stores, those type of things. And also there'll be a cash prize for the winning school, for the administrator to dole out how they see fit to help with their building out of their athletic program.
All right. So, for those who haven't entered the competition as yet, how could they get in contact with you?
Well, they can get in touch with us at through our website, JNTFA, that's Jamaica National Tackle Football Association.org.
Yeah.
That's JNTFA.org. They can call a number of different numbers. They can call my personal number at 876-351-1221. I'm available day or night to help walk them through the process. And we're hopeful that more schools and more administrators see the benefit for their student body with something like this.
All right, thank you so much for passing through. I hope a lot of people learned about gridiron here in Jamaica, and I hope it goes successful. And I wish you the best going forward.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We'd like as many people to be involved as possible, no matter what status they come from, no matter whether they've played sports or not. There's aspects of this sport that is wide-ranging. We need entertainment guys like you.
Yeah.
We need cameramen. We need people who aspire to be doctors in the sports field.
Yeah.
We need people who are statisticians, you know, those students who are exceptionally good in mathematics and those type of things. There's wide-ranging aspects of the sport that is inclusive for a lot of different type of people that don't need to play on the field itself, but it will help enhance their resume for college and their future.
All right, thank you so much, and we'll be definitely keeping track here at Live TV, and we hope to have you back here in the future when the competition starts.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
All right, so this has been Sports Roundup. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Live TV. Subscribe to our YouTube page, also Live TV. You can follow me on Instagram, you know, if you wish, you know, at Lericky01. Make sure to stay tuned here on Live TV on Mars 116, and please enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hi, welcome to JPS Support. Today we will talk about the GEI process. The GEI, or
Government Electrical Inspectorate,
is the body of government responsible for certifying all electrical installations. They ensure that the proposed electrical safety standards are met. So, when is a GEI certificate needed? When the premises that needs electricity is new, when the premises has not had electricity for more than a year, or if the meter socket at the premises was corroded and repaired. But how do I get the GEI to issue this certificate? Any licensed electrician, after checking the wiring of your premises, can submit the application for the GEI inspection to be done. And how long does this all take to be completed? The GEI process can take up to 4 to 6 weeks, after which the GEI sends the certificate to JPS. Do I now get my premises connected? Once the GEI has issued the certificate to JPS, you can now apply for electricity at your premises.
it can take up to 5 working days for your premises to be connected. Now you'll have electricity on your premises. Let's reimagine energy together.
Are you an entrepreneur? Do you have a business but don't know how to harness its full potential? But I can tell you, see here at Jane Small Business Loans, we firmly believe in partnerships, solid relationships, guidance, and the support that you need to be successful. With responsible lending, accessible microfinancing, growth for all entrepreneurs, surely. JN Small Business Loans, believing in you.
For DMP, we offer a range of services. We do delivery island-wide. We offer from a pin to an anchor, best customer service, All in all, hardware supplies and household supplies, we are there with all of it. You can reach us by our email, which is d.phardware@yahoo.com, or our telephone numbers 876-516-4626 or 876-791-2464.